Hey, before we get this show started, I wanted to tell you guys, today is the last day you can enter for the $25 gift card. So if you haven't done it yet, the link's down below. Take care of business, let's get it done. Today is the last day. My video comes out Monday, I will be announcing a winner. So, if it's not you, it's your fault, because you didn't play. And if you did play and you didn't win, I'm sorry. I'm sure I'll be doing more. Alright, get on with the video. Hey everybody, welcome back to Driving with John. So, today, actually just about every day, I think about what I'm going to do after trucking. And I've told you guys over and over again that I'd love to do homesteading. So today I'm going to talk about homesteading more than trucking. Because I just kind of want to draw a picture of what I want and what I foresee in the property that I'm looking for. So, you know, I mean, outside the animals, which would be like chickens and pigs, goats, ducks, things like that. You know, the smaller animals. I'm not looking to do cows, personally. I think that's probably much more than I want to work with. But the smaller animals mostly. Chickens for eggs and for meat. Ducks for eggs and for meat. Goats, they have multiple uses also that most people don't realize. If you breed them, you can sell the babies for a good amount of money, and some of those goats have, you know, 2 or 3 babies at a time. So that's one way to make money off of them, and you can also eat them also. And I know in America that's not widely accepted, but a little unknown fact is, worldwide, goat meat is the most eaten meat in the world. If you don't believe me, Google it. It's true. So, I've actually had goat meat. It's not bad. We did like a pulled goat meat sandwich. It was really good. Took a little while to cook because it is a little bit of a tougher meat, but we did it in a pressure cooker / slow cooker, so it was really good though. Don't worry, that's not the corona. I'm just clearing my throat. So, that's for animals. I know I want water on my homestead. Preferably a pond with a stream. But if it's just a pond, I can deal with it, or just a stream, I can deal with it. But I do want water. If you're gonna have ducks, you need to have some sort of source of water. I mean, you can do the whole kiddie pool thing, but from what I understand, that's a lot of work. If you have a natural pond where you can fish from, and you know, that's another food source for a homestead. So that's something I was thinking about too. If you were going to make your own pond, you know, I'm sure you would have your own designs. I have a couple of really great ideas of how I would do my pond. So I put a lot of thought behind my homestead and the things that we would do. So I preferably would like to have as many acres as possible. Not because I'm selfish and I want to own more land than everybody else, but I want to live out away from people. First of all, it's safer that way. Second of all, because, you know, I grew up kind of in the country. It was in a small town in a country area, and we could go out in the woods and walk for days and explore as kids and ride our 4-wheelers and go hunting and go fishing. And those are the kind of things I'd like to get back to. And like my kids to actually try. You know, I'd like to teach my kids how to hunt. And teach my kids, you know, different things about homesteads and chickens and goats and pigs. And, you know, some of that stuff I still have to learn, but we can learn it together. It's a life skill that I'd like to leave my kids with, so. But, yeah, so I'm looking for as many acres as possible. I mean, you can do a homestead on 2 or 3 acres, but basically that's all. You can't do any hunting or have any other, you know, build a pond that's an acre or more in size. It's just not possible with that small amount of land. The other thing is, I was thinking also, you know, someday I am going to go home to be with God, and my wife will too. When that happens, I'd like to have some land to give over to my kids. And if I had, like, I don't know, 40 acres, I could divide it up between the 4 of them, 10 acres each. You know, and 400 acres, I'd give them each 100 acres, you know, whatever. Anything divisible by 4. You can figure out the math on your own. So that's something else I was thinking about. I mean, it's kind of like, you know, some people when they pass away, they give their kids money. I think I'd be more apt to give my kids land, because it would give them an opportunity to have a place where they could build their own house, have their own life, and they would still be next to or near family, because their siblings would be living right there also, hopefully. So, and if they decide to sell it, they would sell it to their siblings, so either way it would stay in the family. I mean, that's my dream, that's my hope. Not saying that's how it would have to work, because, you know, we all know we can't control our children. Not once they become adults, they do what they want to do. So, but that's kind of something I was thinking about. The other thing about homesteads is the amount of food it would provide. I mean, obviously on a homestead, besides animals, we'd want gardening areas. I mean, we're really experimenting with the gardening thing right now. We have topsy-turvies we're growing tomatoes in, and peppers, and we have cucumbers, and we just bought a bunch more seeds. We're going to try a bunch of other stuff. We have strawberries coming in. So, you know, we're trying a whole bunch of different stuff, and, you know, gardening is not something I have a lot of experience at, though my parents did have like a half an acre garden when I was growing up, but I don't remember that much other than picking rocks and whining about having to go out there and pull weeds. Other than that, I don't really remember much, so I don't know if that's much help, but my wife and I are working really hard on that part too, and so far it's been, you know, pretty good. I mean, we have some failures already and some successes already. We have, you know, so, and that's how everything's going to go. When you're learning something new, you're going to have failures and you got successes, and you just learn from your failures and you move on. So gardening is another big aspect of the homestead that I'm picturing in my head. So I mean, I know some people, they like to, you know, live in the city. Nothing against that. That's what they like. But I've lived in the suburbs most of my adult life, and I grew up in a country town. I mean, when I was really young, my dad was in the military. We moved around a lot. Don't remember a lot of that. But I do remember growing up in that country town where me and my friends would get on our four-wheelers and we'd go through the woods, and my dad and I would go hunting and fishing, and you know, it was a different kind of lifestyle that I've had as most of my adult life, and I'd like my kids to experience that. Plus, I'd like to get back to doing that stuff myself. I really enjoyed it, and you know, it's one of those things I've wanted to do. So for those people out there that are city dwellers or suburbanites, you know, if that's what you like, then that's fine. This is kind of what I like, you know. And I've heard people that lived in the city their whole life say, you know, out in the country is dangerous. Well, it's funny because most country people think the city is dangerous. So I've lived in both, and I don't think any one is more dangerous than the other. I do think, you know, certain parts of the city obviously could be more dangerous, but, you know, I don't think as a whole you're more apt to get killed, you know, in the suburbia compared to the country. So my personal opinion, I could be wrong. You could probably throw 1,000 statistics at me proving me I'm wrong. Just what my thoughts. So, and also, you know, we've already started doing the chickens, as you guys saw. When I get home this next time, we're gonna be setting up a fenced area and get them outside, and they're already growing so much. It's insane how big they are. I'll try to include them in one of my videos coming up. But yeah, so that's homesteading to me. I mean, it's not so much the I'd like flatter land also in my mind, because with mountains there's a lot of other issues. So that's why we're looking more in like flatter land areas. Not that some hills would be bad, but I just don't want mountains and terrain that are hard to work with. Honestly, I'm not young anymore, so not sure how many mountains I'm ready to climb right now. So that's I mean, that's all I can really think about right now. It's kind of my retirement plan. It's what I want to do when I get off the road. Stay at home with my wife and work on a homestead, and enjoy life, you know, enjoy our quote-unquote golden years. That's what I want to do. Sit in a rocking chair on the front porch with my wife at the end of the day after doing chores and you know, having our normal day, relaxing and overlooking our homestead and hopefully the pond that we build, and or that's already there, depending, and just enjoying it, you know. I mean, I could really draw a picture for you, you know, with the sun setting in the background and, you know, the ducks swimming on the pond. I know, I'm a goof. My wife tells me all the time I'm a dork. So that's, you know, that's the kind of things I picture. And, you know, I don't think it's the same as what I grew up with. Like, my grandfather had a dairy farm. They were in that to make money, and that's why they did it. You know, like most bigger farms. A homestead is more a lifestyle than it is to make money. Now, you do need to make some money on your homestead, obviously, because otherwise how are you going to live? But that's not the purpose. That's not the full function. It's more to be sustainable, to feed your own family from food that you raise, that you know where it came from, not because you're a vegan and not because you're afraid of anything else, just because it's a healthier way to go. So that's what I envision. And I've rambled on and on about my homestead for almost the entire video. So that's what I envision. I mean, if you want to put down below pros and cons that you see or that you think of, or, you know, maybe you just want to comment down below and I like the city and I'm going to stay in the city. That's fine. You know, everybody to each their own. There are people that live in city and country and suburbanites and all of those, and, you know, if you're happy there, that's good for you, then great. So, and enjoy your weekend. Today is Saturday, if you didn't know it. I'm only doing that for the people that lose track of days because they're at home all the time. I'll be honest, I'm on the road. I lose track of time all the time. Today I stopped to drop off a load, and it asked me to sign my name and the date. And I said to the guy, is today the 20th? I was off by a couple of days, but you know, I lose track of time on the road too. I'm kind of quarantined on the road, so you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy it. Spend some time with your family. Spend time with your spouse. Spend some time with God, because He should come first before your family and your spouse. And you know, feel free to comment below. And if you haven't done this already, I would ask you, please go over there, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you know when I post a video. And if you haven't done it already, go over there, slam that like button. Wait, you didn't slam it. Come back. Slam that like button. Okay, good. Thank you. And everybody else, you know, all my trucking friends out there, just keep those tires turning. Stay right side up. Keep making money. See you guys next time. Monday.